How are things? E.J. here. We've got a most unusual competition tonight. This is Gavin. Gavin Walshare sitting beside me, and it's all about his big launch in the Blue Lagoon on Thursday night of a trilogy of books. If you're into aviation, into mystery,
history,
this Gavin, we have a trilogy of books of Flight 165, Shamrock 165, 1, 2, and the final. It's all about an air crash, and it's all about, I'm going to let Gavin explain to you because he is the man with the knowledge. It's a fascinating story. Just listen up. We're going to give away a set of these books to some Facebook or Instagram follower. So off you go, Gavin.
Thanks, Eamon, for that. It's a story I was told about when I was a young child of 10, and it went into my mind as things tend to do, but it unearthed itself over the intervening number of years. But in 2011, something happened which I will be explaining in the Blue Lagoon, connected to another Sligo man called Christy McCran. And Christy McCran was from Garavogue Villas and went to England in 1947. And on the night of this terrible tragedy, he led the Royal Air Force Mountain Rescue Squad to the mountain top to try and see if they could rescue anyone. And obviously it became a recovery mission at that point. And I was honoured to meet Christy and to get photographs and stories, albeit very relucantly on his behalf, from him. But thankfully I got to him, and well over 150 people who have since passed, given the longevity of the interim of time in between and how old these people were. And the average age I was interviewing was anyone from 88 to 104. I believe my oldest was 104. And obviously most of them are gone since, but many of them gave me evidence, witness statements and photographs that would have remained, that would be lost forever. But the culmination on Thursday night is these three books, 13 years of work, non-stop work, day and night. And another Sligo connection that's pivotal is this man on the front here. This is the captain of the airplane, Captain James Richard, or Jimmy Cuhan. And his brother was John Cuhan, who had Cuhan's newsagents right from the late 40s up for about 60 years. And this is his brother. And sadly and very unfortunately, this man is left in this plane today in a mountaintop. It's in Wales. It would be unheard of to do such a thing today, but back then they had to leave the plane in the bog to cover up the true cause of the crash. And in this book here in my hand, I spent 236 pages deconstructing the British government's inquiry and expose it for being nothing more and nothing less than an entire sham colluded to with senior officials in the Irish government, and they're all named in here. Everybody who consigned this man and his passengers and their suitcases, luggage, wings, engine, the entire plane is in the bog, this being the plane. Every one of the people who conspired to do this are all named. And I will go into the detail on Thursday night of my story, into the story and how all of this came about and how I fell onto this phenomenal sequence of coincidences where everything I wanted was given to me as and when I needed it. There was nothing I didn't get. Actually, I went after 1,066 ultra-secret documents, and I got 1,064 of them from miscellaneous sources, some of which will never be revealed for obvious reasons. Many of those documents appear in all books, but a substantial number are in this book. And I'd like to invite everybody along, and just come along. Everybody is welcome. 8 o'clock on Thursday night in the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, it's actually a fascinating story, and even just to run through the pages there, it's the information and the knowledge that's in there is just, it's mind-boggling. Gavin, how many people were on the plane?
23 people out of a 24-seater plane, so it was pretty much a full plane back then. That was the size of, that was the main plane in the world. It was like the 737 today, the DC-3.
So what you're saying is that plane with the 23 people in it is still...
That plane with about 80 to 90% of the people by volume is still in the bog, yes. The entire plane is still in the bog. It went in like a dart and buried itself in for all eternity. And then because of the way they wanted the investigation to go, they didn't want it taken up at the time. And senior Aer Lingus officials, who I have named in here, and I've got police reports which categorically named them, were behind the concealing of this entire sham. And that's all it was. It was a sham of an investigation, a sham of a British government's public inquiry. And it's something that it's justice that deserves to be told after almost 73 years next January. So
Yeah, so there you go. It will actually give you the shivers down the back of your neck listening to what Gavin has.
And I would just like, sorry for interrupting you, but I would just like to say I have invited the parties that be that I am slighting in these books. If I'm wrong, sue me, come after me. There's no, the evidence in these books is unequivocal. They're genuine, bona fide documents, and everybody in high power has gone to ground. Nobody wants to touch it, but we will bring it to its final conclusion.
Yeah, it's definitely a story that needs to be told. The launch of the books is in the Blue Lagoon on Thursday night. All is welcome. I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot more about Gavin's trilogy of books. Shamrock 165, flight number was 165, and the Shamrock is relevant.
The call sign.
So there you go. It's a very unusual competition for E.J. Menswear. Myself and Gavin have been friends for many.
We grew up in Dorley Park together.
On the same side of town, so it's Gavin got the brains. I didn't.
Excuse me.
We're giving away the trilogy of these books. Anyway, all you need to do is like or share or make a comment about the books or what you know about this, or if anyone has any memories about the occasion. But certainly, it's just unbelievably interesting and fascinating, and
it's very, if I may say, it's very detailed. I approximated there's about 200,000 components to the story, and they're all factual. There's nothing made up. There's nothing bent to fit. If something didn't fit by 1/1,000,000th of 1 millimeter, it didn't make it in. Everything in here is absolutely factual that I can stand over, and I'm willing to go up against the best in the world, fight my case, and more importantly, win.
Well, there you go. So, okay, Thursday night, Blue Lagoon. What time, Gavin?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. It's going to be launched. But as I say, you're probably going to be hearing a lot more via press and whatever. Well done, Gavin.
Thanks.
Let's just see what happens, and we'll see you on Thursday night. And just like or share our post there, or make a comment. Someone's going to win the trilogy of books. The way they're put together is just top end. So there you go. Thanks, Gavin.
Thank you, Eamon. Thank you.
Best of luck on Thursday night. So.